Hello, this is Compound Interest Stock Guy, and today we're going to be talking about Sprott Resource Holdings, and we're going to be talking about their income statement and like interim financial statement, and we're going to look at their chart, and we're going to look at their business and investment portfolio because it's a Sprott Resource Holdings. All right. So this is my YouTube channel, and slowly growing. Not as fast as I'd like. I guess there's things I need to improve on my YouTube skills so I can get more subscribers and more views. Probably like thumbnails and stuff like that. But I'm getting close to 10,000 minutes, which I'm excited to reach that. And I got 2452, so I'm getting close to 2,500. So it's just slow. Eventually I'll get up to maybe 10,000 views, and then maybe 100,000 views, and then maybe 1,000,000 views, right? So it just takes time, right? I'm not going to rush it. But yeah, anyways, that's what I wanted to talk about first. And I also want to say, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. Helps my channel grow, and give me a thumbs up. And yeah, I also want to explain I'm not a financial advisor. This is just for entertainment, information purposes, and to help you with research. Do not buy a stock because I talk about it on this channel. Buy it because you did your due diligence and you like the company. And yeah, so this is their interim financial statement, right? So financial statements are always a little bit late. So it's September 30th. And yeah, so they got cash and cash equivalents on September 30th. This is in thousands of dollars, okay? So this means that it's I guess 16 million. Yeah, 16 million. So that's what their cash and cash equivalents. Their assets are 86 million. And their total assets, mineral properties and intangible assets and portfolio investments, are 169 million, okay? And then their liabilities, this is their total liabilities, is 45 million, all right? So yeah. I want to get out of here. Alright, so that's good. This is settercom. You guys can check it out yourself. You gotta prove you're not a robot, so you gotta do like I46F2, that kind of crap, just to prove you're not a robot. But then you can look up any company, pretty much, on the TSX, CSE, all your good companies that you want to look up. I don't think you can look up NASDAQ companies unless they're just on the TSX as well. But if they're just NASDAQ, I don't think you can look them up. But yeah, it's a good resource. It's a similar resource. It's kind of like Canadian Insider in a sense. You can see when that companies sell and they buy. Let's look up Canadian Insider, actually, now that I brought that up. So let's look up Sprott Resources. It's the company I'm looking up that we're doing our research on, that I'm fairly bullish on. So these guys got grant of rights and nobody's sold. So indirect ownership at prices of 154 to 108, grant of rights. So nobody seems to be selling that's an insider, so that's a nice thing to think about. It's only, you don't even really, like, look at the chart, right? They could have, at 98 cents or 102, that's what's that. It looks like it's double bottoming. We're going to look at the chart later, but, I mean, it has a long ways to go up, like $2-3 or so, like, and then maybe the insiders might decide to sell at that point in time, but I like the fact no one's selling. So let's look up their price to book, which I have already explained in I have another video. It's called low price to book. companies, and this is one of the picks on it, and actually has the lowest price to book out of all those companies. Because if we just looked at the balance sheet, right? That's got so much more assets than liabilities. So you can just think about the value in there, right? So you got a 35 million, almost 36 million market cap, and the price to book is 0.2668. Okay, so it's pretty much 4 times. Okay, so 4 times by like 35 million for close estimation is around 140 million. Okay, so this company should be worth around like $4 to hit their price to book, being 1. I'm not saying they're gonna get to $4 in the next few weeks or anything like that. I'm just saying though that's where they're gonna be equal to their value. Let's look at the price of copper, because I'm gonna explain later in the reason why if the copper price goes up, that's gonna be good for this company because they own a copper mine, 70% ownership. I'll show you the facts. I ain't gonna lie to you guys. Got nothing to gain. So this was a bearish reversal for the short term, but I think it's long term. I think like you look at it, it just looks like it wants to go up to $3, and yeah, you got, if it can go up to $3 to $4, like right there, 450 or higher. Oh, I mean, with the maybe the inflation's gonna happen with the deal with China, and then everything's gonna be priced way higher. Anything such as gold, platinum, steel, everything like crude or anything like that. Maybe it's gonna make everything worth a lot more money. So this copper is based on per pound. Okay, so 276, and that's in US dollars. So whether the price of that goes up a lot, or even if the US dollar goes up, that's going to help them in their market cap, because it'll make it from a US dollar standpoint versus a Canadian price on the pound of copper. So things like that will help this company. But I'm not really too worried with the price right now. I think that it looks like it's just consolidating around 2.7, and it looks like it wants to go up to about $3.50 or $4. And I mean, it could break out of this and it could go to like $6 or $7. I mean, that'd be a very bullish case, right? But it's not out of the realm of existence that wouldn't be possible. You got 61% people think it's bullish and 39% are bearish, right? So 61%, okay, that's a pretty good number. You gotta think about this, is the people that are voting, they're not the big money that are gonna move the markets. It's the people on Wall Street who are playing on the Forex, and they're moving the markets big time and keeping commodities down. Those are the people, and when they want to move commodities up, they will. So things like gold and silver, when they want to move them up, and even crude, they will. So that's really going to be like play the big hand in when the price of copper is going to go back up. But I like the look of the chart. It can go back up to 325. All right. So let's look at that. Let's look at this. There. Excuse me. So Minera Tre Vale is a private copper producer that owns 100% of the operating Minera Tre Vale's copper mining complex in 9 kilometers from Salamanca region in Chile. So it's got 2 main deposits, an underground and an open pit. And they have a plant with normal capacity of 54 tons per day of ore. Copper leaching operates as a 4-stage crushing plant, agglomerator, and heap leach pads and pools, and 18,500 tons of copper cathode. So it was constructed and operated by Vale SA, commencing commercial production in 2010. So and they've already invested 240 million invested by Vale. So that begs the question. I mean, I don't know the answer to this, but if it's true, we gotta think like, okay, if they're giving the mine to Sprott Resource Holdings, they probably are giving shares. So Vale probably has shares maybe in this company. So you gotta think how thinly traded this company could be, and it could be owned by a lot of Vale. I mean, I don't know the number. Maybe they own like 5%. I mean, maybe they own nothing. Maybe it was just a cash deal. I don't know the deal, but I'm speculating. And experienced partner in the Vechiola Group, a premier Chilean mining service and construction company. In community support through charitable foundation and formalization of small-scale miners. Okay, so they're doing charitable foundation, which is good because some of these jurisdictions, they really like, you know, if you start having pollution, they're gonna put a grave to the operations and they'll stop you in your tracks, which I've seen happen in one of my stocks I own called Lydian International, and it was a gold, and yeah, so it's not a nice thing. But because they're doing charity, that's gonna make it full circle, and then that's gonna leave a small risk of something like that happening to the company. So the SRH ownership is 70%, and that's their big ownership. Now they own a Corsa coal. It's a Corsa CSO on the TSXV coal, and an essential ingredient in the production of steel. So premium quality metallurgical coal. So that's interesting. Source of supply in the Atlantic and Pacific Basin markets. Existing low-cost operations, group of customers in North America, Europe, and Asia, and organic growth prospects. Okay, they only own 17%, so there's a fair value of this CSO company is so that'd be like 3 million. But let's look at the market cap. Let's go look it up. I'm helping you guys research, so I hope you guys appreciate it. Give me a thumbs up. So yeah. Market cap 63. Wow. So that when they did that, why does it say that? Corsa coal, 17.6 million US dollars. Okay. It's interesting. Is that real? CSO TSX money. Sometimes Yahoo's wrong, right? So just want to double check. Yeah, I think that's right. 63 million. So if they own 17%, that's close to like 10 million, right? Now, in asset, right? So you gotta look at the fact that, and it's just at a low part, right? And coal's actually gone up in price. So if this goes up to like $2, that's gonna really help out their market cap because they own 17%. Okay, so that's one of their ownerships in this business. Now you got 15.8% on held by it. Okay, so in play Oil Corp, IPO, light oil, focused assets in place primarily in Alberta. Low operating cost structure. So they own 10.5%. So because they say 9 million fair value. Okay, so fair value is book value. That's what it is. So that's really amazing, actually, because if they were to sell out all their shares of that company, they were saying like it's only 3 million on the fair value. But let's see if I'm right about that CSO TMX money. So yeah, so their price to book, wow, I don't even get it. It's still like below 1, right? So I don't know. You can go on this stuff forever. Still won't make sense unless someone explains it to me. But Yeah, they own like $1 million worth in that for fair value, and then privately held Toronto, Canada-based integrated branded foods business focus on natural and organic meats and other added branded products. Okay, so 49% ownership in that company. I wonder what their, let's look up their, that, because I think that's the last, well, after I look up this, then we'll go there. The project has a divine resource of 27, the largest iron ore deposit in Canada, in Quebec, Labrador. So this is a public and private joint venture, because SRH owns 40%. So yeah, it's pretty cool. They got all these irons in the fire. So I mean, if one of these things really pans out, wow, you could really move that market cap. I mean, you look at it like, okay, it's like a $1 company, Beretta Farms. These are animals. Shop the frozen butcher. Beef tallow. Frozen butcher seafood order as well. Come on. Okay, so got tenderloin steaks for $32, $15. So yeah, these aren't cheap. Wow. And this company owns, I think, 40%, 49.9%. Wow. Beef tallow, I don't know what that is, but I mean, you got they're playing the organic beef market, pretty much organic ribeye steak. So they're playing that market, and they also have pork, seafood, and turkey. Anyways, that's interesting. I don't know what it's worth. It's got to be worth something. So that's one of their business. And now let's look at the chart. All right. So the chart is, so the price of book is 0.268, and their market cap is 36 million. And yeah, so I think they did a reverse takeover somewhere around like here, maybe somewhere around there, and that's when all these shares came about. I know their warrants are for like 660. I think it's the same warrants, because that's the ones that I just bought. But yeah, it's double bottoming, so probably gonna just chill around 104. It doesn't look like it's gonna go below 1 unless, say, copper goes down, because that's pretty much their meat and potatoes, their copper mine in Chile. So, and yeah, so if it goes up now, they have the SRHI warrants that were going for like 1 cent, and if it reaches 660 above in the next 3 years, because that's when they're going to expire on the 2022, yeah, anything above 660 in the next 3 years. So if it's getting to like $10 and you bought these warrants, like that's just money on top of money. So like over the 660, and the acceleration clause is like 1120 or something, so it's like almost 450, and it'd probably hit around like $12 or something when it starts freaking out, if it's to hit that. So these warrants could potentially go up 500 times in the next 3 years. I'm not saying for sure that's going to happen. I'm just saying it's a potential reality, because they like to pump these stocks and pump out, and then so they can accelerate the warrants. And I mean, the fact that nobody talks about this company, it's got very little volume. But there was a lot of volume actually on Friday. That was 31,800, and it sold a little bit. But it's average, like I saw the day before, it was like 12,000 shares were traded. Yeah, not many shares were traded on this company. So yeah, that's my overview of Sprott Resource Holding, ticker on the TSXV, SRHI, right here, Sprott Resources Holding. And they've had a 52-week low of 98 cents and a 52-week high of 290. Okay, so it's a company that I think has a bright future, that people aren't talking about, and they're looking at getting financing. That's what it's saying here. If you want to read this article on January 30th, I'm not going to go through that, but it's right here on TMX Money. You can hit it right here, and it'll tell you information. And they also did a technical report on December 14th on this Vale's copper project. Okay, so they're serious about it. They just need to get some financing, and then they can get the ball rolling. Say if they were to get like 25 million or 40 million and do like 5% interest, man, they would have an explosion, I could see. So yeah, that's what I got to say, and I hope you enjoy this video. Give me a thumbs up, subscribe for future entertainment and content, hit the bell notification to be notified when I upload my next video, and until next time, peace.